Okay, I'm Dominic Walker, and this is my semester project for RSM 290. And for my project, I used the financial statement from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Just a little background information on the university. Classes began in 1901 with only 145 students, and then now 20 years later, they have an enrollment of, or 120 years later, they have an enrollment of 19,000 students. So obviously, that's a big jump. They have 14 total Division One athletic programs, seven men and seven women's, complying with Title IX. And according to their financial statement, the university earned $2,059,261 in athletic revenue. So the first way that I thought they could save money was through was to cut some of the budget from the fundraising, marketing, and promotions. Because in 2019 they spent $61,240 on in that category, and I think they need to go about it a different way. First of all, their athletics are getting bigger and better. They're getting recognized by ESPN. They're getting more national coverage. So there's not really a point to spend that much money when ESPN is giving you free promotions. And also, they need to use the rise of social media to their advantage. They need to just put their money into their Instagram and Twitter and Facebook accounts and build those up and get more kids. Because honestly, kids today, they're influenced a lot by social media. If they think you have a cool Instagram, that might influence them to go to your university, and you're going to make more money from their tuition than you are getting people to come to your games just from this. And then also, if you live close by where newspaper and radio ads would get to you, you should probably know that you live close to a university, so you don't really need to spend money on that because those people will already be aware of your product. The next way that you can save money is to cut some of the budget from the spirit groups. Now, I know that cheerleaders and mascots are important to the overall college football experience, but I really don't see the need for them to be traveling to away games with the team. In my opinion, that's just a waste of money having to pay for their travel and food and accommodations. Because generally in the Sun Belt, you don't sell out stadiums unless you're Appalachian State. So you're not going to play that much of a difference bringing along a cheerleading squad like you would if you were an SEC team or a bigger conference. It's just really not needed, in my opinion. And the third way that you can save money is to cut out a lot of the budget from the student athlete meals, the non travel meals. If you're a Sunbelt caliber athlete, I think you can manage eating in a dining hall. At Coastal, the athletes eat in the dining hall, and our athletics have done just fine. Obviously, the baseball team won the College World Series in 2016. They've made multiple March Madness tournaments, and this season, that our football team had an undefeated regular season, and they beat Louisiana. So, and it costs almost $2 million for their athletes to have special foods and beverages. That's just a waste to me. I think if you're going to a Power Five program, then yes, you can expect to have all the fancy personal chefs and things that Clemson and Alabama have, but you're really not. You're playing in the Sun Belt. I think you need to just realize where you're playing. And if you have prima donnas that don't want to play for you, okay, maybe you lose one or two kids, but you're saving millions of dollars on it. I think that's worth it. And because obviously it doesn't play that big of a role for Sunbelt teams. All right, now ways to earn more money. The first one I came up with was increased ticket price. I compared the Raging Cajuns season ticket sales to Appalachian State because they're kind of the Sunbelt royalty, if you will. Um, so App State sold their season tickets for $210 each for the 2020 season, and Louisiana's were $100 less than that, but they ended up having a better season than App State, who sold out every game. So I think if you increase ticket prices, you don't have to match App State's, but just raise them a little bit, maybe like 50, $60. With the excitement coming off of the 2021 season where they were Sunbelt co-champions, I really don't think that's going to drive fans away, especially since there's going to be less COVID restrictions this year and you're going to have packed stadiums. I think you're just going to earn more and more money if you increase the ticket prices. The next way that I thought they could earn more money is by selling their media rights. I said they should do the Notre Dame model, how Notre Dame sold their rights to NBC to broadcast all their home games, and they get $15 million a year from that. Now, obviously, Louisiana is a much smaller program that doesn't have the history that the Fighting Irish do, but I think they could still find a smaller broadcast company, maybe CBS Sports or have a streaming service with DAZN, something like that, that could definitely get them more than $10,000 a year to broadcast their athletics because that's compared to Notre Dame, that is nothing. Only $10,000. You can definitely find a way to make more money than that if you just sell your broadcasting rights to a company. And the last thing I came up with was concession sales. If they slightly increase the cost of concessions, they'll get tons of more revenue than they are right now. Because right now I mean, they make a lot, but it could be so much higher if they just do a couple of things. First thing I came up with was removing the meal swipe options because I've been to two Sunbelt stadiums and both of them offered meal swipes to students. Let's be real, a lot of students show up to football games drunk. And when you're drunk, you're going to spend whatever money on the food that you're craving. You're not going to think, oh, they don't offer meal swipes, I'm not getting food. They're not going to be smart enough to do that. So you can capitalize on that and sell the food to them that you would for a meal swipe. And there you go. That's money in your pocket. Same thing with water prices. Let's say you sell a water bottle for $5. If they're playing a 95-degree game in August, people are going to be buying water. It doesn't matter how expensive it's going to be. So that's another thing you can capitalize on. And then another thing that I thought of is that they could add in souvenir cups because in the two stadiums I went to, neither of them had souvenir cups, and that was really disappointing to me because I love collecting them. But yeah, sell them for like $10. They're really cheap to make, but tons of fans will buy them because I know I'm not the only person that likes to collect souvenir cups. And here's the first slide of my references and the second one. So thank you.